Michael, would you please give us the date and the time?
Yes, the date is March 20th, 2022, and the time is just a little after 2 p.m., about 2:07 p.m., and that's Pacific time. We are here in the Chapel of Tomorrow, also known as our Urantia room, and this just happens to be the second year anniversary of the Worldwide Religion of Love, sponsored by Gabriel and Aphrodite, under the auspices of the local Universe Father and the local Universe Mother. So this being the second year anniversary, then that must mean that the Worldwide Religion of Love began on March 20th, 2020. The first phase of the new Worldwide Religion of Love was Return to God. In March of 2020, especially March 20th, 2020, the slowdown, the shake-up happened in all of the world. And the whole world felt the effects of this change. And you might also know it as the coronavirus or COVID pandemic. The message was stop, slow down, return to God. It was a time to stop what we were doing, take a look at our lives, reevaluate our lives, and imagine a better life for ourselves and for our planet. The catchphrase of that period, which has now come to an end, was return to God. We are now entering the second phase of the new Worldwide Religion of Love. The catchphrase for this period, which will happen roughly until about 2026, is the catchphrase is do no harm. And as we can see that the events have unfolded in the Ukraine, brought about by Russia, we see a lot of harm being done right now, a lot of harm to fathers, mothers, men, women, children, families, buildings, businesses, and a country.
Churches and hospitals.
And movie theaters. People leaving, being disrupted, their lives being disrupted, leaving, refugees going to other countries to start a new life, not knowing whether they'll be going back to the Ukraine, to their nice, comfortable, happy, free lives that they had before. There is a lot of harm being done. This period, this second phase of the Worldwide Religion of Love, catchphrase is do no harm. So let us, each person in the world, try to do no harm to others nor to ourselves. Now the new Worldwide Religion of Love, the second phase, as I said, will take us to 2026, when we will all, every one of us on this planet, will see the Father, the local Universe Father, also known as Zeus, also known as Christ Michael, also known as Jesus of Nazareth. He will appear on April 13th of 2026.
Exactly right.
He will appear in the Spirit, and his words are and will be to each person, sin no more. So the third phase will start at that time. It is sin no more. And I just wanted to give the overarching theme of all of these phases and all of these periods that will lead us up to the age of Aquarius in 2023, starting 2024, and then on to the new golden age, the age of Pisces, which is also known as the beginnings of the era of light and life on our earth, and that is 2043. The overarching theme from the beginning of the Worldwide Religion of Love in March 20th, 2020, to that time of 2043 and the era of light and life is do not fear. Do not fear. Pluton, Uriel, also known as Marduk, and also Hades, is telling us, do not fear the changes, because the changes will ultimately benefit those who decide to go with the Father after this life, and who decide to live a good life now, and do no harm, sin no more, and return to God. They will move on to a better place during light and life and beyond. But the changes that get us to that point, the changes necessary for us to rise to that level, might be hard. And as we can see in the last period and this period, there are lots of changes that are difficult. They scare us, they give us anxiety, they cause us to they cause disruption, they cause us to look at life differently, to think about things deeply. So they're saying, during the whole period, do not fear. Do not fear the changes. Do not fear everything that we need to do that's necessary to bring us to that point. And of course, in addition to the worldwide religion of love, we have Lord Maitreya's 50-year magisterial mission, which began, interestingly enough, on March 20th of 2017. So we also have the 5-year anniversary of Lord Maitreya's new magisterial mission on earth, which will last from that 2017 year 50 years until humanity is transformed to help us and our planet to get to the point of the new golden age on earth and light and life upon our planet. So we're here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate Lord Maitreya's magisterial mission on earth, 5 years, and the new worldwide religion of love under Gabriel and Aphrodite, 2 years. We're here in our Chapel of Tomorrow, a place where we celebrate the local universe Father and Mother and Gabriel and Aphrodite. And as we move forward into the changes and into the transformation, Lord Maitreya urges everyone to have a chapel in their homes, a chapel of tomorrow, where you celebrate the local universe Father and Mother. Gabriel and Aphrodite set up a place for them, welcome them, commune with them, talk with them, be healed by them, and just transform yourselves. And as a result, our planet will be transformed. And that's all I have as an introduction. I hope those listening will return to God, do no harm, sin no more, and do not fear.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. And I'm so glad that you remembered this was the 5-year anniversary of our beautiful magisterial mission. How wonderful.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Michael.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much.
Absolutely.
Yes, well, we have our anniversary. This is, oh my goodness, this is really exciting time for us. We have a radio program on Friday, the 25th of March, and that will be most interesting because on the 25th of March, 2 years ago, we sent out a letter to all of our Urantia friends telling them that we had gone through on March the 5th, 2020, a most exciting ceremony. Well, it was like a ceremony. Mm-hmm. I was in a chamber of light. The Father brought me to his consciousness upstairs in our beautiful home and immediately told me, after I was very fearful of what was going on with bars of light around me and machinery noises going on and geometric lights flashing at the top, he told me, he said, well, everyone has to stop, slow down, and return to God. And that was in the afternoon, about 2:30, before I was supposed to run down to the school and pick up my child. And that next weekend, my child's school stopped.
My church stopped.
My husband's church closed down. And my goodness, so the 25th of March we sent out a letter and we said, oh my goodness, we've just had the most magnificent, unbelievable event happening, that the Father has appeared in his full glory, full size. He was full size. And this time I was a little bit fearful. I'd never been in a chamber of light before. But I will have to say that our child, our son, Alexander, has been watching Doctor Who. And I said, there it is. I was watching with him. There's my chamber of light. It looked like it. Of course, it was a real big chamber in the Doctor Who, you know, fit like 3 or 4 people. This was just bars of white light all around me, just within a few, I wouldn't even say more than 6 inches around me. I could not move. I couldn't move my hand. And then, of course, it was above me about, a foot, and then like a lampshade of light, geometric figures. And all around the bars of light were like a pear-shaped or something sideways, looked like eyes of vibrant blue all looking at me. And later they said they were the angels that brought me up to his consciousness. So anyway, that was March
5th, right?
Yes,
March 5th,
it was
2020.
March 5th, 2020. Stop, slow down, and return to God. And then, of course, everything did slow down in the whole world.
Yeah, and you said that that personal experience, that personal message to you was to stop, slow down, return to God. And then as you were exploring that, you realized that message was for the whole world, was for all of humanity.
Yes.
That they were to stop, slow down, and return to God. And then, of course, what happened about a week or 2 later was everything began to stop and slow down. Everyone's lives, industries, businesses, churches, community functions, people's jobs. I mean, I lost my job, job losses. Couple of job losses along the way.
And that was March 5th, 2020. Now, I want to mention to you all, because a lot of people do not know this, I've told it on the radio, but March 5th, the next year, 2021, was a very eventful day for us too. Again, I was going to run down to pick up Alex, and then Michael said, just let him walk home, And then you Celestials, you told me, no, you have to pick up Alex. He's in great danger. You have to go and take the car and pick him up and make sure you arrive early so that he doesn't start walking. And this was March the 5th again, a year later. And so, we did it as we were told. We got in the car, we drove to the school, we parked in the parking lot to wait for him, and we were right there about 12:15. He got out about 12:15, and he came along and got in the car, and so at 12:20 we pulled out of the parking lot. We were perched right there on the corner of the school, ready to pull out, when lo and behold, around the corner across the street from the school, a brown truck came around, speeding, all of a sudden crashed into a brick wall that was by the houses. This was right off the sidewalk.
Across the street from the street we were getting
from the
on.
school. Crashed into the wall of cement, broke through it about 6 feet, and then all of a sudden it started to back out. When it came back out, then it hit to the left into the other cement wall and put another about 3 or 4 feet hole into it, and then he tried to back out again and went up into the air. This is the honest truth. Not only my son Alexander saw it go up in the air, but also the teachers that were getting the children, out of the classrooms and everything. And one teacher I called later, and he said, well, I was the one that ran across the street to help the man, and I saw it all. And so it went up into the air, flipped upside down, and landed on the sidewalk on the street, the truck. So this happened when my child would have gotten out at 12:15, taken about 4 or 5 minutes to walk across the street, about 2 or 3 minutes. It was right near the corner and could have been slam bang right there
Because
on
that's
the
the sidewalk. That's the sidewalk he walks on.
That's the sidewalk
Yeah, he
he
could have
walks
been
on.
in that spot.
Or if he hadn't, he would have been scared to death. Or it could have landed on him twice because the truck went into the house, the brick wall in the
wall.
front, and then went into the other brick wall, of the neighbors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a really
was,
dangerous situation.
Yeah, it was a little bit rainy. It had been rainy, misty that morning, and the truck pulled around and kind of skidded and bounced off the curb and hit the wall twice and then flipped over and everything. And I ran out across the street to see if the person was okay. Luckily, the person crawled out because luckily they had the driver's side window open, and he was able to crawl out even though the cab was smashed up a little bit. And one of the other teachers came, Mr. Call.
And I talked to him on the phone afterward about it.
He was Alex's counselor at the middle school there. And, he went over there, and he was the one that yelled to call 911 and everything. And it was a pretty wild event. That was the 2021. And
March the 5th, 2021.
Of course, Diane
and
got
that's
the,
documented by the school and the police.
Diane got and if you go to the spot where it happened, they still
They
haven't repaired it.
it. So you can see it. We showed it to Gerald T. Farley right before. Well, he came very soon after that.
Yeah.
And to visit us, and we drove him by the school across the street to show him. And I want everyone here to know that someone is here that told me that morning and that day to pick up Alex. And I said, we'll just let him walk home. Oh, no, you don't. You have to. It's very dangerous. And that person is sitting to my right, and that is Hestia. Hestia is the consort of Hades, and he is the one who said to us, "Do not fear," back in 2018 when we had a meeting with the four
overarching theme,
Melchizedeks.
do not fear. So she
Was Hestia.
she told you that to be careful and everything.
And she has been so instrumental in helping me, and I just want to thank her personally. I mean, not that they all haven't. Hera was so wonderful. Last week, the 13th of March, we had a wonderful session with many of those here today, and Hera was supervising that and guiding it, and she helped me personally with some personal things too.
So if you go to that spot, it still hasn't been fixed by the city.
No.
There's a compressed fiberboard board covering the hole, the main big
And it's
hole.
6 feet wide. Oh yeah, the
And
whole
there's
trunk went all the way through.
There's a lining of bricks that kind of the line sits horizontally. That's still kind of sagging up on top of the wood piece. So it still looks bad. But anyway, so March 25th, 2020. March 5th, 2021, and now here we are. We're March 20th of 2022.
Yes.
With the 2-year anniversary of the Worldwide Religion of Love. We have our friends here. We have the Local Universe Father is here. Local Universe Mother is here. We have Gabriel. We have Aphrodite. And would you like to introduce the rest of our friends?
Well, yes, I just want to mention, since this is March 20th, that it hasn't been very many weeks since Russia and Ukraine have been in the news, and it was February the 24th. That hasn't even been a month yet. It'll be a month when we do our radio program on March 25th. It was February 24th that of course, Russia invaded Ukraine. I'm mentioning this so historically that we've got it down in our book, What is Going On. And I do want to tell you that we're doing our radio program on March 25th. That's this Friday. And we will be announcing a most glorious happening. The Pope is going to be consecrating Russia and Ukraine, finally, after 60 years of waiting, when he should have done it, or not him, I know,
well, this
but
is
one
Pope
of the
Francis,
popes. I'm not saying it was Pope
but it was one of the
Francis.
previous popes that was supposed to announce all of the Fatima prophecies.
Right, the third secret. and fully. And now it is true that the popes have consecrated the world, but they were supposed to have consecrated Russia and Ukraine. So I think it's most interesting that it will be, here we are, the second anniversary, March 20th, and on March 25th, we are going to have the Pope consecrating Russia and Ukraine as they have invaded on February 24th, 2022, this year, just a few weeks ago.
Wow.
And I will say that Hera and the Father have been telling me instrumentally what is going on and what is going to happen. And of course, Michael, you might mention about the April 13th, 2026.
Yeah, so on March 25th of this year, as Diane mentioned, March 25th, Pope Francis will consecrate the Ukraine and Russia to the Blessed Mother.
Yes, to the Sacred Heart of the Holy Mother. And I'm going to ask you guys, before Michael goes on in that, which mother will be accepting that? Will it be all of you? No. Will it be Hera? No. Ah, we have the Mother here. And we have Clymene. Clymene will be accepting that honor tonight. We're mentioning that. So that will be Friday. Will be the Sacred Heart of Mary, Mother Ray. Mary means Mother Ray. And of course, I did not know before this moment. I just assumed it might be Hera, or I assumed it, I wasn't really sure. But I know Clymene offered to come today for the meeting, and I did not know. She will be accepting the honor of that sacrament, that consecration. They say it's the Sacred Heart of the Virgin Mary, but we have to remember there are many mothers in our heavens, and I guess that Clymene will be accepting that consecration on Friday.
Okay.
Thank you for offering to attend, Clymene. I didn't know why. She doesn't often come, or especially, in this type of a small meeting we're having, often and when we have the big ones,
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for going to be doing the honors of that. And I know that you and her consort is Iopetus. In the Urantia book, we have Uranus and Tia, who are the first source and center. And Clymene and her husband, Iopetus, are brother and sister to first and second source, first source and second.
Okay.
Clymene and her husband are the brother and sister of first source and center in the Urantia book, Uranus and Tia.
Okay.
So, well, thank you, Clymene. And we will be having our radio program that night. We will announce it, and now we have something special to announce, that it will be Clymene who will be accepting that.
Yes.
So, that's good.
The Father is coming in the Spirit to everyone on April 13th, 2026. His message will be, sin no more.
Yes.
And that's the local universe Father,
Mm-hmm.
also known as Zeus in the Greek, also known as Christ Michael in many of the modern Christian type traditions, also known as Jesus of Nazareth, Yahweh,
Archangel Michael.
Archangel Michael, Yahweh with Yahweh and Asherah.
Shemesh or Shamash, depending on the vowel used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Michael of Nebadon in the Urantia book.
Local
the
Universe
Local Universe Father. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm sure many other titles throughout history. So he is the main guy. I'll just put it in those terms. He's the main guy for all of this. All of this activity, celestial activity, that is happening on our earth at this time. The result of human error, human folly, the result of humanity's challenges to really rise morally in comparison to our technological advances, our technological prowess, all of the money we have, all the resources, everything that has been given us as a blessing from the celestials has needed a morality and a godlike lifestyle framework paradigm to go along with that. So Lord Maitreya and Gabriel and Aphrodite are spearheading programs to get humanity back on track, to bring humanity up, to balance out the technology and the morality. And one of the messages that we are putting out, which I hope is in line with this kind of attitude, this kind of movement for humanity, is a culture of life. Bringing humanity to a culture of life where life is valued as opposed to looked at as something that can be thrown away so easily and not necessary, gets in the way of our happiness. So we're saying that for the preparations for the era of light and life, our wish is that humanity will do away with slaughterhouses and abortion clinics. Value the life of the animal, of our animal friends. Value the life of the vulnerable unborn baby. And when life is valued, then humanity can step into an era of light, where more of the Father's light is expressed through us and on the earth, and life, light and life, where life is valued and it is seen as a blessing from the celestials that needs to be taken care of and protected.
Yes, thank you, Michael. Thank you. Yes, the unborn child is a focal point of Gabriel and Aphrodite, and Gabriel is the first one who would like to speak.
Okay.
So
the Father will be coming to help us with that on April 13th, 2026.
Okay, so we have here Gabriel. Okay. Gabriel, you are our first speaker. This afternoon we have Gabriel, Apollo, Zeus wishes to speak, and we also have Persephone is going to be speaking today. So Hera and Persephone, I guess, are the two females speaking. So we'll put Hera down here. She was going to talk to
And I was going to have you introduce the rest of our friends before.
Of course, I'll do it right now.
I mentioned Local Universe Father and Mother,
Oh, of course.
Gabriel and Aphrodite.
Of course. I'm going to start to my left, and I have Aphrodite, and we have her consort is Gabriel. In the Greek, he's known as Hephaestus. And I have to tell everyone that we have known them since 1985, when Gabriel brought in Michael to see me. Of course, not in the physical, but in the spiritual, when he was just 15 or 16 years old, and brought him in with Darlene was her name, and Mark II was Gabriel's name. They didn't give me their full identities until actually just the last couple years. But since 1985, we have known Gabriel and Aphrodite, and Gabriel has told us that he was Socrates, who pursued truth to teach to everyone. And of course, Aphrodite, love. We have Apollo. Apollo came to us as Aaron in a beautiful ceremony brought to us by Hestia, and Diana, and it was a musical celestial concert, so to speak, of celestials. And Aaron told us that he was an organist, and not particularly a singer, but a musician. And of course, he later told us he was Apollo. And he has been talking to us quite a bit lately. And so we do thank you, Apollo. We have Clymene next in the back chair. Clymene, of course, as I mentioned, was the consort of Iapetus. And she is the one who will be receiving the beautiful gift, consecration of Russia and Ukraine, this Friday, and we'll announce it on our radio program. And as we announce it, they will be having all of the ceremonies. I don't know the exact time, but it will be Friday. Now next we have Aries, and he's also known as Mars in the Roman and Greek names, Mars and Aries. He is also, we have found out, either has as an aspect Saint Germain or is Saint Germain. He has not disclosed that. Do you want to tell us, Aries? He says, I am Saint Germain. Well, thank you. All right. We have Zeus next, and we do thank you for coming, Zeus. Oh, I do want to mention one more thing about Aries, that he is ahead of all of the Melchizedek societies on Venus, the planet Venus, the headquarters of our solar system. Thank you. Thank you, Aries. Appreciate it. Father Zeus, you're going to be speaking also, so we do thank you for coming so much for this. You're the reason that we are here. So, we have Dionysus to my right. It's Dionysus with his beautiful Persephone. Dionysus is the Christ of the Greeks. And in Manly P. Hall's book, he said that he rode on an ass to the temple with people waving the palm fronds, and he turned the water into wine, that he was crucified and brought back to life, resurrected in April of each year. The Greeks worshipped him as a baby on December 25th. And every aspect you can think of Christ in our Bible, of Jesus Christ, that's the way the Greeks worshipped Dionysus.
And the lamb.
And the lamb, of course. Actually, Apollo and Dionysus, their statues have been copied many times to represent the Christ. Apollo and Dionysus with the lamb over their shoulder, the Good Shepherd statues. One more thing about Dionysus I want to mention, that in the mysteries of the Greek mysteries that were hidden and not told, in fact on point of death, we found out that when they would have their mysteries and they would go through like winding corridors and end up in a dark cave, and they would have their Dionysian mysteries, we found out that in the throne chair, at the end of the trail that these pilgrims had to make, Dionysus himself, in flesh, incarnate, appeared and dwelt with them during those mystery ceremonies. I did not know that. So, as he comes here, he came there for those mysteries in Greece. His beautiful consort, Persephone, is Melody. She came to us again in the beautiful ceremony we had with the celestial musicians. Persephone is an artist of light. She combines music with light to make paintings. And she's going to try and help Michael to do that. We still have to work on that, Michael. But she is an artist, Persephone. She's also a singer and a musician. And she is the consort of Dionysus, who is also in the Oriental world. And I know this may be very hard for some to understand, but some of the celestials are eternal, and some are attaining eternity. And Dionysus is also a Buddha. Now, some Buddhas do not have the eternal, but he does. He was proclaimed Gautama, And so he does have the eternal, just as Uranus and Tia and Clymene and Iapetus and Hyperion and his beautiful consort there. So Persephone came that day, and that was the first time we met her, and she gave us an American name of Melody. We have Zeus below to the left, to the right here.
Zeus below to the
Zeus
left.
to the left of me and Hera to the right.
Yeah,
in
we
front
already
of me,
talked
right in
about
front
our
of me.
about Zeus.
They are
and,
consorts, and Hera, beautiful Hera, is speaking today. Thank you, Hera. And she came last Sunday, March 13th, and she was the speaker for that. And she got right in my face, right in front of my face, about 3 inches before my face, in a full face of hers. But it was very, very blurry. But she really, I was feeling a little low that day. I was tired after the day, and she just really filled me with light. And I do appreciate her help so much. And I was restored with more energy than I've had in a long time. Thank you, Hera, for that. Next, we have, with his consort, we actually call him Hades, but his other names are Pluton, and of course he's Uriel in the Roman Catholic Church, the very most high angel, archangel, or Saint Uriel. And we do thank you for coming, Uriel, with his consort Hestia, who again we said was the one who brought with Diana the celestial musicians, and that was quite a few years ago. When we first met them. So, our first speaker is Gabriel. Gabriel, this is the 2nd anniversary of the worldwide religion of love. What do you want to tell us? He wants to say, since the slowdown, that many more people have turned to Christ.
Oh. Good.
And he said that is a positive thing. Many people turned on their radios, their TVs, to have religious services brought in their home and gathered other people with them. And I want to say personally that my brother's wife, she is a Catholic, and so every Sunday she'd turn on all of the services, and my brother is not that he turned Catholic, and we are not actually either, but he just has become so much more filled with light. And so, Gabriel, I want to thank you, because he has just been turned on since they started watching those programs on the TV, and his dear wife filling him with such joy that he would participate with her on that. So he's saying more people have turned to Christ during these times of woe and worry. And he is happy for that, more light.
Good.
He's saying he's looking forward to, not very long, it will be in 2023, when we will be having a ceremony for the new King of Light of this earth, and that's Hyperion and Thea, and that will be 2023.
That's right.
Yes, March 23rd. And that would be very exciting. For next year, we will be having a coronation of them being king and queen. And Gabriel says he will be doing the coronation with Venus. So that will be an exciting moment. And so we will all be gathered here next year. And that will be March 23rd, 2023. So we will do that. Well, thank you, Gabriel. So you have some hope that people are turning to God. It says even without their churches, they really tried to bring God into their homes and into their living rooms, and we thank them.
Let's just go back, because this is an important thing.
It is important.
March 23rd, 2023. That's next year.
Next year.
At this time, there will be a new king and queen of this world crowned.
Yes, coronation.
Dionysus and Persephone
will be leaving.
They are the current king and queen of this world. They will be leaving that post to go on to another post, and Hyperion and Thea will take their place as the new king and queen of this world.
Yes.
That's
yes.
going to be on March 23rd, 2023.
Next year. Year from now.
Gabriel and Aphrodite
We'll be doing the coronation
doing
ceremony.
the coronation.
Uh-huh.
And here we go. We're told that at this time, or near this time, they will tell us the new name for this world.
Yes, they have proclaimed a new name, and Thea is the one who has been chosen to give the name and make it up, and she will announce to us that next year. I'm hoping that she will let us know what it is before that, and if it is true, then we will tell everyone.
And the great thing about it is, at that time, on that March 23rd, 2023 time, is when Pluto goes into Aquarius, when the beginnings of the age of Aquarius will be. It'll be the beginning of the age of Aquarius, where we shift into that more light and life type attitude of, brotherhood, understanding the distribution of, food throughout the world, food, shelter, clothing, people's needs met, so that they can go to higher levels of love and spirituality.
During this coronation time, Pluto, which has been in Capricorn since 2008, will be entering Aquarius for just a few months. And during that few months next year, everyone will have the hope of a better
Yes.
world and a better life. Everyone will be given hope.
Yeah.
Now, Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn at the end of 2023, but people will have been given enough hope so that they can feel that life will be better and they will prosper and that they will spiritually be helped.
That some of these hardships we've been
The
going through the last
hardships.
2-3 years will begin
Dissipate.
to abate.
And 2024, of course, in January, Pluto will enter Aquarius again and will be staying there until 2043, when it will enter
Excellent.
into Pisces, and that will be light in life.
Yes.
And no slaughterhouses and no abortion clinics will be there, because you can't have light in life if you are killing. That just simply is not compatible
Yeah.
with a life that is what light in life consists of.
Death is darkness.
Death is darkness. The Pope wrote a beautiful writing.
Oh.
Maybe you can mention it to them.
We want Gabriel to speak, but I'll just really
Yes,
quickly.
Gabriel has to speak.
Pope John Paul II's 11th encyclical. In it, he talks about a culture of death that he was seeing and that we were experiencing in this world. Abortions and euthanasia and capital punishment were all being practiced, and they're still being practiced today. There have been millions and millions of abortions since Roe versus Wade. So he was highlighting a culture of death, and he was right, and he is right. You can't, and I believe my personal opinion is that I don't think that you can have that kind of death on this planet and enter an era of light and life. That kind of death breeds fear. Fear in the animal kingdom and fear in the human kingdom. So we want to get rid of the fear, get rid of the death, and bring in more of God's light, Father and Mother's light, Gabriel and Aphrodite's light and love, light and life.
Yes, yes.
A culture of life,
I
basically.
mean, what would the world be if no one even squashed a poor little worm? I mean, what would life be if we were free of worrying that we would be hurt or suffered pain? I mean, what would life be? I'm sure if that would come, we would not have illness. Would we have still illness? No, there will not be. There'll be no suffering anymore. No one will fear. All right, Gabriel, do you have anything more to say? He just says that my blessing I give to you on
Thank you
this
very
day, the
much.
second anniversary and I am well pleased. I am well pleased with those that have held me in their heart. I am well pleased, and the Christ. If they have held the Christ in their heart, I am well pleased, and I'm happy to see a lot of people who were trying to bring religion into their homes, even though their churches were not filled to capacity. They did view in their homes. All right, our next speaker today, this afternoon, is Apollo. And we do thank Apollo. He, tell them, Michael, would you, that he gave us a beautiful little ceremony each morning and evening to do?
Yes, Apollo. Thank you very much, Apollo. I thank you personally for all of the health and strength and energy that you have given me. I have a fairly difficult job. It's very physically and mentally demanding. I lost my teaching job during the pandemic.
And the church job. 2 church jobs.
And this church, not this church job, but this job that I have is physically and mentally demanding. I have about 17, 18, now about 20 associates underneath me that I supervise too, so I have to, be a leader also. But you have given me a gift that has really helped me, and it is a ceremony that Diane and I do, and that you've taught us to do, Apollo, that every morning, what we do is we go out and we face the sun. Because Apollo, you are the sun god.
Yes, he is.
Your light shines through that sun.
Yes.
We put our hands up in the air, and we take some deep breaths to get us centered. And then what we say, and we visualize you in our hearts. At the same time, we say, Apollo's strength, energy, and power are within me. And we say that 3 times. And then in the evening, we find the direction of the sun, even though the sun may be down. We find the direction of the sun.
Even if sunset.
We do the same thing. We lift our arms up. We take a deep breath to center. We visualize you being a part of us, being in our hearts. Apollo's strength, energy, and power are within me 3 times. That's simple. Very simple.
Yes. I want to mention that our producer of our programs on the radio, he says he also will do certain ceremonies to the sun in the morning to gain energy. A lot of people in different parts of the world will do that, and that's a wonderful thing to do.
Isn't it interesting how when most people get up in the morning, they'll stretch their arms out?
Yeah, put your arms up. Yeah, face the
stretch.
sun just normally or naturally.
Kind of a natural thing.
Okay.
So,
Apollo, he wants to tell us that he is saying farewell eventually. Because once next year that Thea and Hyperion become king and queen of the earth, that he will be relinquishing his power over the earth to Thea and Hyperion, because Hyperion is also, as he is, a sun god. And even though he will be still the sun god of our solar system, the fact that we're starting to move into a light and life circumstance and into the early degrees of it, that Hyperion will be substituting his light for the earth. And then when we have light and life, he will be, of course, the full force for it.
Okay, so Apollo, you are the sun god for the solar system.
Yes.
But as far as the earth is concerned and its light, that will be supplied by Hyperion.
By Hyperion, because it's just like he says on Venus. People will look through their binoculars or whatever they have, and they just see well, they don't really see anything hardly, but the scientists can see through
the
a little
sun?
bit with Venus, the planet Venus,
Oh, you
or
mean the
planet,
telescope.
the telescope, or
Okay.
the different
I was gonna say,
planets,
don't
and
look
they
at the
just see
sun
a
with a
core.
binocular.
No, not
Don't
the
look
sun.
at the sun with
no,
binocular.
No, Venus, and all they see is a core. But he says we have to remember that there are many spiritual levels above our rocky core, and he says Hyperion will be the new sun god of those very, very high levels that are around the earth and that the earth is moving into, because it's a body too, and the earth, physical part of the earth, will eventually become so filled with light and the vibrational rate will be raised so high that Hyperion will be the new sun god for the earth. Now, for the core, that's left, of course, I am the god of the solar system, the sun god.
Yeah.
But the earth will be moving into light and life, and that will be a much more spiritual plane.
Oh, and Hyperion will be associated with that
He will.
light and life
He will.
type vibration
But
of the sun. Of the
Hyperion
earth.
will be the major supporter of
That's
the
what I
light.
said, Hyperion, yeah.
Yeah.
Hyperion will be in charge of
Yes. Uh-huh.
the light and life type
Yes.
levels of
Uh-huh.
the earth. Yeah.
And he is. It's just the earth has not moved into that yet.
Yeah.
But he will be.
Well,
He
that's
will be.
fantastic.
So in a way, he says, I will be sorry to not have that full, complete authority over your planet, but I will still send my love,
Yeah.
and I give you a blessing.
Thank you. Will you be doing other duties in place of that particular duty, or is that just something that you'll be relinquishing? And
He says most people do not realize that all sun gods have other duties. All sun gods do not just give light to their respective solar systems and planets. We are the light of the world in all of its aspects, and we have many, many other jobs in governing and in administration, and some of us are creators. Some of us are creators. Mhm. Are you, Paula? Are you like Uriel, Hades? Do you have a high level position? Like now, Uriel is one of 3 in the major sector. In the Rancher book, it describes kind of a rundown of how many planets are within a system, and then the systems as they go up. Michael knows
Where
all
are you
about this
going?
perfectly.
are you where
Are
you going with
are
this?
you in a high level position like Uriel, or work with Uriel on governing maybe many, many millions of universes? Do you actually go that high? He says yes. He does. You have authority and administration over millions of universes. He says yes. He says that's why I'm telling you, when you're talking about the sun gods, they are not just supplying you energy.
So would
They
you
are
Yeah, go
have
ahead.
many other positions.
So would you say that your sun godship over our solar system would be like a very tiny, tiny part of what you do as a god?
He's saying about 1%.
1%.
1%. And he says, do not think that I only shine on your solar system and give energy. My duties are very varied, and as Uriel, being ahead of the minor, major, and so forth, these different levels. Now Zeus is the head of the minor sector
Okay, I see
in
where
the
you're
Rancher
going.
book.
Yeah, we were
Uriel
told
is
that...
the head of the major sector.
Okay, yeah, you kind of have to clarify that.
I'm
'cause-
sorry.
Yeah. So we have been told that this god Hades, this god Uriel,
Mhm.
is the head of, or one of the heads of,
One of 3.
the major sector in our super universe.
The way it works with Uriel is one of 3. He is Uriel, his consort, is Hestia and their son. There are three
Also, there
that are the
three.
head of the major sector, and they are called by the minor sector's father, mother, and son.
Interesting.
And there are three of them, and they head it. Hestia is equal partnership and equal power in the major sector. And their child, their son.
Wow. And we were told that our local universe father,
Mm-hmm.
Zeus,
Mm-hmm.
just like Apollo has different duties, the local universe father is the head of our minor sector in
Yes.
our super universe.
And he is also one of three. And he is the one, the first, the head. The second is Hera, who has equal power. And the third is their son Gabriel, who has equal power of both.
Yeah.
Is not actually, they don't exactly have the same capabilities, but they are equal power in governing.
Yeah. And I did just want to put a little footnote in there that there are, in our super universe of Orvanton, there are many major sectors and many minor sectors.
Oh, yes,
But
of
the
course.
major sector
Of
and
course.
minor sector that they're in charge of are the ones that are most associated with our local universe and our planet.
Yes, yes. He's saying there are so many sun gods that we could not count them, but they all have positions that are higher, and he's just describing two examples to give you. And so when it says in the Urantia book there are three powers that are together as running the major sector, they are talking about father, mother, son. They're talking about Zeus and Hera and Gabriel. They're talking about Uriel and Hestia and the third, that they're
Is it always
progeny.
like that? Or is it,
it's almost always the triad.
well, I mean, is it that structure of father, mother, son, you know?
Yeah. Now, of course, there are then many others that are in council. But as far as the head, it's usually father, mother, and son.
Well, sometimes we think of the Trinity as father, mother, son too, you know?
Yes, we do.
It's been
Yeah.
what's the word? They've taken on male genders.
Yes.
Of course, you know, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Right.
And the Christians, they think they're all male.
Yes.
But, you know, we know from our esoteric learning that it's Father, Mother, Son.
Yes. Yes. So he's saying
That's the
that Hera
Trinity.
and Zeus are the mother and father, and Gabriel is the son. He doesn't necessarily have exactly the same attributes as each parent, but sometimes they're amplified, and sometimes they are greater in some areas.
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful how we qualify them.
All right. So, Gabriel, you will be presiding over the new king and queen coronation of the new king and queen on Earth.
With Venus.
With
She
Mother
is
Venus, with
equally-
Aphrodite.
Uh-huh.
And then Apollo, you will be saying farewell when
Saying
Hyperion
farewell.
and Thea
Yes.
become king and queen of the Earth in 2023.
Yes, yes.
So it sounds
not
like,
not completely, but Hyperion will be coming in, and they'll jointly rule until then they separate,
Oh, okay, all right.
until it finally is light and life.
That's,
They will rule jointly until light and life.
Yeah, that's definitely an important nuance there. yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So you two, so it looks like, it sounds to me like next year is going to be a very important year.
It is. It is a major breakthrough in the world, taking the direction of going upward in the arc, and actually like a rocket going up to light and life. Right now, on the year 2023, we will be going into the age of Aquarius on that very day of the coronation. Pluto will be entering Aquarius,
Oh, that very
and
day.
that will be called the age of a real Aquarius. In other words, in the 60s and 70s, we thought that we were living in the age of Aquarius, but we were not.
Yeah.
But we will be beginning next year, and that will last for 20 years. And then, of course, we go into light and life when Pluto enters Pisces. And when that happens, it'll be the very, very beginning stages. I mean, my goodness, Hyperion and Thea will be ruling jointly with Apollo and his consort for probably a long time, but he's just letting us know, because our life is not that long, so he's telling us kind of what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, it will be a long time they will jointly rule, but then eventually he will move out and will not have priority over the earth, because the earth will be risen. It will be a higher vibrational level. It will not be the earth that it was. A new heaven and a new earth.
Right.
It's a new heaven and a new earth with a new king and queen.
Yeah.
And eventually Hyperion and Thea will totally give the light for that, for the earth and its new levels that have ascended. So.
Wow. So this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
It really is.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius.
I give that to you, Michael, to work on. Learn that song again. I know we used to learn it and play it, but learn it again, because next year this song is really coming to fruit.
Sympathy and trust abounding. No more falsehoods or religion. Da, 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 da. So the new religion is the personal religion.
It's a personal religion,
Of
the worldwide religion.
Yes, of love.
It's the personal part.
It's not a religion that has a specific doctrine or tenets.
No.
Yet, we don't know.
Well, we don't know yet. They said after 2022 they would give us more information, and that will be after this coronation next year.
Yeah. But what we're getting right now, what we've gotten so far about the religion is that it's a personal religion. It's where the celestials come, like the Father will be coming. Gabriel will be entering the mind of people of the earth. Aphrodite will be entering the heart, giving more divine love and more divine truth. The Father, more divine light.
Yes.
Right? And in that way, every person will have a deeper and more meaningful and closer personal relationship, kind of like a personal path.
Right.
But we're calling it personal religion. So it's not necessarily that you have to go to a specific church or you have to believe this, this, or this.
No.
It's the celestials appealing appealing, coming more close, appealing or coming closer internally to the individual to help them tread a more spiritual, a higher path.
Well, we have right here a gentleman.
As opposed to like a priest or a minister or a church.
Oh, no.
That guides you. It'll be your own.
There can be people that guide and that teach and so forth.
But it'll be your own personal self that will be appealed to in working more closely with the celestials.
But Uriel, you remember, he said, "Do not fear," but when we had that meeting with the four Melchizedeks, and they introduced themselves as Melchizedeks, but they were not just Melchizedeks. They were Melchizedeks, but not just Melchizedeks. And Uriel was there, and Uranus was there, the Universal Father, and his two sons, Iapetus and Hyperion, and his grandson, of course,
when the four Melchizedeks came to see us.
Yes.
Oh, we have a video up on YouTube of
yes,
that.
We do.
The four Melchizedeks.
And we didn't know at that time that it was Uranus and his two sons and his grandson.
Right.
They introduced themselves as four Melchizedeks, but we didn't know
they were veiled
afterward.
at that time.
Yeah, they were
veiled to us.
So we have Gabriel is telling us he'll be doing the ceremony, officiating for the king and queen next year, and that'll be in 2023. And then we have Apollo telling us that he's saying farewell, not really during our lifetime, of course, but eventually will be. And next year he will be bringing in Hyperion and Thea to be also giving their light to this earth. So there should be a change, because if they start giving their light in addition to Apollo's, then there certainly will be a change.
Yeah.
So the next speaker we have, is there anything else, Apollo, that you would like to mention? He just says, I give my blessing, and I am happy that you are complying with the morning and evening ritual.
Yes, yes, every morning, every evening. Very,
Uh-huh.
very, 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 very
Uh-huh.
rarely do I miss an evening one.
That's good. That's good. Our next speaker is Zeus. Okay, you are the Christ of, oh my goodness, of our Western world. I mean, I was brought up in, I went to so many different Christian churches, oh my goodness. But you are also known through every generation and every
Oh, yes.
religion, really, by a different name. Even you know, the Oriental, every religion.
Yeah, without you, we wouldn't be
We
here.
wouldn't be here without you. We'll just say that.
And there's a ritual that we do, Father, and you know, Father, I just want to tell the people listening, there is a ritual that we do every day in addition to our Apollo sun I guess you could say sun worshiping,
You could
but
say
it's,
sun worship in
it's
a
more
way.
it's more of a strength healing ritual.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But Father and Mother, what we do 3 times a day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, and of course before we eat,
Oh yes.
we
Right.
say,
Right.
say,
Of
Father,
course.
thank you so much for this wonderful life you have given us, and thank you, Mother, for all the blessings you give us every day and always. We say that 3 times a day.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes, we do.
And you told us to do that. You said we need to do that.
Yes. You actually gave us a ceremony to do for a purpose. It was called the 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And at that time, you told us that you were preparing a very special place, and it was on Jupiter,
Mm-hmm.
and that you have a headquarters on Jupiter. And you were telling us that for those who wish to be closer to me, he says, I will prepare a place for over 3 billion people on Jupiter, and I will welcome those who wish to be closer to me. He says in the Urantia book they talk about the mansion worlds, and that's a perfectly fine way to go, and I am in charge of that too. But if you wish to actually live a little closer to my headquarters, which is Jupiter, then you are most welcome to do that by applying to me, and every morning, noon, and night to thank me for your life and the Mother for the blessings.
Yes.
So that
Life
is
and
the 10-year
blessings.
plan that you have going. All right. Is there anything else that you would like to tell us about what is going on here? He says, I wish to give my blessing, but my blessing is to the world, not just to you. Says everyone here shares this blessing. I offer this blessing to you. I give it to the world. And he says, if you can take nothing out of what is going on in Russia and Ukraine, take the idea how precious life is and carry that idea forward through to next year when we have a new king and queen, and to the time when life will be so precious that no one would ever think of taking any life, including your little pets and your animals and your insects and your birds and your fish. He says in some religions they would throw fish into the fire. He says, do you realize those little fish are watching you, that they know what's happening, they have feelings, and he says, there will come a day when life will be so precious that everyone will protect it. Everyone, no one would think of taking a life of any kind. So I give you all my blessing. I bless the world. We will have another ceremony next year. We will have a new king and queen. They will be working with Apollo, of course, for many, many years to come until Light and Life appears.
Fantastic.
So we thank you so much, Zeus. We thank you. Hestia, you are here with your consort Uriel. Uriel was made by the Catholic Church Archangel, not only Archangel Uriel, but Saint Uriel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the saint has come most recently. So we do applaud the Catholic Church for giving you that title. And of course you are the brother of Zeus, the elder brother, and in the Urantia book, one of 3 heads of the major sector. with your concert, Hestia, and with your song. So, Hestia, what do you have to say to us? You came first to us, bringing us the celestial musicians. Now what do you bring? She says, I am gathering the musicians of heaven. And for those who can hear, I will bring their music closer to the earthlings. She says, when you were given lectures by Thea, she told you that every person that you see, you must recognize as a person of light. She says, right now you're trying to discriminate upon people and segregating them from other people. She says, Thea taught you, when you see a person, you think of them only as the light shining within them. It doesn't matter anything else about them, but you are to look at them as a person of light. She says, I am bringing more than that. I am saying that within their hearts there's music. And this music will be more and more heard. You were told by Apollo, you were told by, oh dear, what is the brother of Zeus? Poseidon. Poseidon. You were told by him that there would come a time when you would hear the music of the celestials. Well, she is saying that music is going to be coming sooner, and I am going to be bringing that music in your heart. She said, all of a sudden, a person will hear music in their heart. You know, Michael, I have to tell you, when my mother, before she passed away, actually it was 2 or 3 years before, she said she started hearing music. I couldn't imagine it. I thought maybe it was the drug she was taking or something. But she said she didn't think so. She felt it was heavenly music.
Mm.
Now, are you talking about actually hearing melodies and songs? And she says, yes. You will actually hear heavenly music will start coming to you. You know, I have to tell all of you, this really shocked me this week. I was just laying there and I was starting to worry when all of a sudden some music came into my mind. And I thought, what is happening here? And then I tried to start worrying again, and all of a sudden the music came back.
Again? Why
And
would you try to start
I
worrying
tried
again?
it because I was trying to concentrate about what to do with the bad situation that was
Oh,
happening in the
okay.
world and all. And then all of a sudden the music came back again. Are you talking about this type of situation? She says, yes. She says, we are going to start bringing more heavenly music into the hearts of the people. She says, this is the only way that you can really go into the age of Aquarius and the age of light and life, is to have music in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, didn't you, Michael, you saw that image in that magazine of the heart, and they said, music is the language of the heart?
Yes, and we've also encountered the concept of love as the music of the heart also.
Yes.
Well, that's one of my main songs on my albums is Love is the Music of the Heart.
Love is the music of the heart.
And I also did a painting. So maybe if I make a video at this point, I'll show, I'll maybe have the song included, or the song at the end, Love is the Music of the Heart, and the painting of Love is the Music of the Heart.
Yes, the painting.
And we were exploring at the very beginning when we first heard about the worldwide religion of love. When we first heard about that, we started exploring some of our older esoteric learning from Rosicrucians and from the Theosophical Society, Theosophy. And I came upon a branch of the Theosophical Society, kind of a group. And their leader, gosh, I can't remember her name, but I made the copies of it. And she said, and she passed away actually at a young age, and she said, The world will begin to be transformed when we hear the music of the heart.
This is what Hestia is talking about. Yes. She is saying we are entering a new phase of creative effort on the earth. We are having Hyperion and Thea, the new king and queen, and they're the king and queen of light. Hyperion is a sun god. And she says, I am coming to you, telling you that we are going to be letting people hear some of the music that might be not thought of as in this realm, because it has not been heard before, but it is there. And she says every person has a vibration. Every person has a sound or a keynote. Every person has music in their heart, but they close their heart and they cannot hear it. She said, with the coming of the new king and queen, she says, you will start to be able to hear a little bit of the music that maybe your heart has been closed to.
Wow.
She says, I came to you, Michael and Diane, as celestial musicians.
Yes, you were Corinth.
Corinth was her name, with Della, who was Diana, the
Yes.
goddess Diana.
Mm-hmm.
They were the ones who sat at the end of the room and brought in all of the other
Introduced,
celestials.
Aaron, Apollo.
Aaron was Apollo.
And, oh gosh, there were so
Persephone was
many. Yeah,
Melody.
Persephone, Melody.
Yes, all of these
And,
had different names
oh my gosh,
for us.
we had Bright Alfred.
Bright
Who
Alfred.
is, Brian
Prometheus.
Atlas, Prometheus.
Prometheus.
And Brian, his brother Atlas.
Yes, his Atlas, the god Atlas. And
And
so
oh my gosh, Beatitude.
Beatitude is Clymene, and she is here today.
That's right.
Yes, that's Beatitude. She came in as
Yes.
Beatitude with her two sons, Bright Alfred, Prometheus, and Atlas, who is Brian.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes, Atlas.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're all musicians, all of them. This is what Hestia told us,
and the
and
Infinite
Diana.
Mother Spirit was
And
there
the
too.
Infinite Mother, of course.
And
of
Bryce.
course. And Bryce Triton, and Metis, who is the mother of Athena. They all have
Yeah.
celestial music and produce celestial music.
Yeah.
Even Saint Germain, which is Mars, either an aspect or is an
Aries
organist.
saying he
Is an
is
organist.
Saint Germain, yeah.
And Elizabeth Clare Prophet actually sent everyone out a little tape of Saint Germain's organ music. I still have it, but I've lost it
Yeah,
somewhere.
gosh, we can't find that.
So
but,
she's saying,
amazing.
you are on the brink of a new world. She's saying, you will see that Russia and Ukraine are bringing to you the idea of how precious life is.
Mhm.
How precious. You are looking, you are seeing it. A little kindergarten child, a baby, an unborn baby. They are all so precious. But she says, after this period has cleared, you will start to hear my music that I bring through all the celestials. She says, I will bring it through to you. Uriel and I rule the major sector. It's not really called the major sector, but in the Urantia book, that's an appropriate title to use for the aspect that we are reigning over. But she says, music. I want to bring you more celestial and heavenly music. She says, I wish you great success in overcoming the world. And on April 13th, 2026, when you see the Father, I hope that more people will say yes, yes to Christ when he says, go and sin no more. And they will answer yes. But she says music in the heart. Their hearts are simply clouded with fear and depression. When their hearts are cleared with the light of Hyperion and Thea, they will be able to hear better the music of the heart and the music of the celestials. So I actually, all of a sudden, this had never really happened before. All of a sudden, there was this music that kept interfering, and I was trying to worry and think about this and be depressed. And the music kept coming on. And so finally I gave up and I said, okay, I feel better. All right, I'm just going to forget that, and I'll just change my attitude. And I wasn't depressed anymore. So, Persephone, you are next. what is your message? And we do thank you, Hestia.
Yes,
thank
thank
you
you
for that. You're saying that we are just clouded with fear and depression. When that fear and depression fade, she said, you will see the light of Hyperion and the beauty of Thea, and you will hear our music more clearly. Thank you, Hestia. Persephone, you are our last speaker for today. What is your message for us? You came as melody on that beautiful evening of celestial musicians.
And we have that video on our
Uh-huh.
YouTube channel for anyone that
Yes.
wants to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Celestial Musicians.
Celestial musicians. She says, first, tears are in my eyes because I'm having to say farewell too. She says, of course, for those living today, I will still be their queen. But I have been the queen of this earth for 60,000 years. Wow, 60,000 years. She says, we came 90,000 years ago with Gabriel, known as Sanat Kumara, and his queen Venus, Mother Venus. And 60,000 years ago, we were presented with the sovereign title of King and Queen of this earth. She says, we are saying farewell. Thea and Hyperion are the god and goddess of light. Hyperion is a sun god. He will do well in reigning for a new period of upliftment and the age of Aquarius and the age of enlightenment. She says, we have enjoyed our rule. There's been so much happiness that we feel that we have seen on the earth. She says, right now is a dark period for your world, but remember, 2023, next spring, when we have another anniversary of the Worldwide Religion of Love, things will be different. There will be hope brought to the world. More people will be hearing Hestia's music that she is allowing mortals to hear, and we will joyfully leave this planet when light enlightenment occurs. But, she says, I give my blessing to you. I know you will succeed. She says she and her consort, Dionysus or Gautama, in the Oriental world, we have been the king and queen of the whole world, of every religion. My husband and I are king and queen of every religion that has come out of Venus. Every religion has come out of Venus, your headquarters for your solar system. She says, we say farewell with tears in our eyes that right now, at this moment, things are cloudy and in despair, and people are dying. But next year there will be hope. The veil will clear. Hestia's music will begin to be heard, and life will be better. So think positive, be happy no matter what the news. Pray for those that are in fear and doubt and despair. So my message is farewell and God bless the world.
God bless the world.
I do want to ask you, Persephone, is it just Pluto that you will be going and reigning? No. She says she and her consort will be the king and queen of Pluto, and they will be doing their very best to uplift those souls that will be coming in to Pluto and that have already come. When the age of enlightenment comes, those that have not made the threshold to light and life will be coming to me, and I will give them my love.
So Dionysus and Persephone, king and queen of the underworld,
Yes.
you are leaving this underworld
Yes.
to go to the next underworld.
Exactly. On Pluto. For those levels that need our love and compassion so desperately. And we will work with tirelessly to raise them so that they can also eventually achieve light and life as your planet is going to.
Yeah, we go from underworld to light and life.
Yes. With a god, the god of light, Hyperion.
Right.
The vibrational level of your planet will increase, and we will work tirelessly to raise Pluto.
And I do want to mention one thing about Hyperion,
Hmm.
that he is also known in the Urantia book as Makiventa Melchizedek.
Oh, yes, of course. And his brother, Iapetus, and that is the consort of Clymene who came here today to be with us.
Yes.
He is El Elyon in the Urantia book.
Iapetus. Yes. Elyon.
Yes.
He is the one who Makiventa Melchizedek was a priest under.
Yes, yes. They were brothers. They were brothers. Exactly.
So there are a lot of there are a lot of connections
Yes.
today and in the
Uh-huh.
heavens and on earth.
She wants to mention that she and her husband, who is Gautama, are also under Uriel in the major sector. And they are very deciding factors in that
Oh,
organization.
in the major
Under
sector.
Uriel and Hestia, under the major sector. Hmm. And also we should mention that since Dionysus was the Christ of the Greeks and also Gautama of the Buddhist religions, that he does have the capacity for eternal life.
Yeah, I think you
He is
mentioned that
eternal.
already. Mhm.
Yes, eternal. Now that does, I would assume, apply to you, Hestia? She says, yes, we share the eternal. Hmm. Now, even with the Buddha lineage, you have a change, though, in status. Now Maitreya is not eternal,
Mhm.
where my consort Dionysus is.
But
He
he's a
is
Buddha.
eternal.
Lord Maitreya is a Buddha, but he
But
isn't
he
of
is
the
not
eternal lineage.
of the eternal Buddha. There are Buddhas that are eternal and there are Buddhas that are not. Just like there are gods, Zeus and Hera, that are not eternal, and Hyperion and Thea are, and Tethys and Oceanus are. So she says, I just want to make that clear, only to the point and reason, because you are getting a new king and queen, and I want you to know exactly their status. They are second, source, and center. They are eternal. And they are going to be ruling over a higher new heaven and earth than before. So you have to understand that they are eternal. Persephone, I wanted to ask you too, are you going to be having any more, so to speak, concern of our planet after Thea and Hyperion take over? Are you? She says yes, she will. She will concern herself with Hyperion and Thea, and especially until, of course, Light and Life, they will still jointly help.
Fantastic.
Yes, but she blesses you all, bless all the world. She says, let us gather next year when we celebrate another anniversary, and we will hope that people will see that they have progressed, maybe out of some of the dark days that we're having right now, and we will look forward to the future. And with that, she says adieu. God bless the world.
God bless the world.
God bless the world. Thank you all so much.
And the watchword or the phrase for this period is do no harm.
Do no harm. Yes, thank you. This is a difficult period for people to do that. And not that they would want to, but sometimes they're ordered to, and we have to each make our own decision what we do about our salvation.
And just one other point for me, and that's what it means, or that's one of the ways to live the light and life lifestyle, how to become a Christ in the 21st century. One of the aspects is to do no harm to others, that's animals and humans, and do no harm to yourself. Keep building up that body, that pure vehicle, that temple of the Lord. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you all. I want to thank you all personally for coming. I want to thank Aphrodite, consort of Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron, who is Apollo in the Greek.
Thank you.
Thank you, Clymene, for coming. Thank you. And she is the consort of Iapetus.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mars, Aries, Saint Germain.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Zeus, my darling Zeus, the Christ of our world, the Jesus, the Savior, of the life that we are to have someday in light and life.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you,
Father.
Father. Thank you for wanting to be close to us on Jupiter or wherever. We love you. Care for you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you for our precious life.
Thank you for our precious life. Dionysus, thank you, and Persephone for guiding this world for 60,000, well, really 90,000 years, but being king and queen for 90,000 years.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, taking us all the way to light and life.
Thank you, Caligastia.
Thank you, Caligastia. Thank you, Lilith. Thank you, darling. She's so precious. The queen of the underworld, she
Yes.
truly is, and she's the most beautiful, sweet creature in the whole world. And we love you all so much.
Caligastia is
And
good.
Buddha, and Buddha.
They're
Buddha.
good. They're
They
not
are
bad.
good. They're not bad. Well, if we're talking about that, Gabriel has been called Lucifer, so we
Gabriel,
have to be
you are good.
very careful. You are good. You're not bad. Just because you work with the underworld and just because Persephone does it doesn't make them bad.
And Hades, you are not bad.
Hades, you are not
good.
bad. You work with those in the underworld, that doesn't make you bad. Hera, we want to thank you for coming, and we so bless you for last Sunday's March 13th
Yes,
message.
your pink light was
Oh,
fabulous.
your pink
Thank
light.
you.
She brought. Do you see that light like that?
Yes.
That's just how the pink light was in my mind.
Yes.
Like a V, like just like that,
Perfect.
only pink. And her face was right. God, she got right in my face, full size.
Perfect.
It was blurry. It was very, very blurry, but it was there.
Perfect. Look at
Thank
that.
you, Hera, and we do appreciate all of you that you're here, and we thank all of those that are not here, but we know that they are doing their jobs. We have Uriel, who is the brother of our Christ, and he is known as Pluton and Dragon, and he's known as Marduk.
Marduk.
Yes, Marduk. Thank you so much. Uriel, one of three who rule our major sector. Thank you, darling.
She does
And
awesome.
also, I want to ask one thing, because I want the people to know. Do you also work in the other super universes? And they do. See, I want everyone to know that. Yes. And Hestia, my darling Hestia. What is it you have in your hand, Hestia? When I drew you, you made me draw you with like an arrow in your hand. She says it is the arrow of love borrowed from love himself, Eros. It is an arrow that I will put in every person's heart so they can hear the music of the heart.
Love it.
Thank you, Hestia. Oh, thank all of you. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 here today.
Okay.
We thank you so much. God bless
All
the
right.
world.
God bless this world,
And
friends.
this is the anniversary, second anniversary of the Worldwide Religion of Love. What a wonderful anniversary it is. I want to bless my husband. I'll tell you guys, you brought him to me in 1985. There's no man in the world that would have put up with me.
Oh, come on.
No, not at all. But I tell you, he has, and he has been such a splendid worker for all of you.
Yes.
And no one understands what I'm going through but him.
Yes. And I support you 110%.
So I can't thank you all. Now, it was Gabriel and Aphrodite that brought my husband to me.
Yes.
A sacred marriage, just like all of you have.
Yes.
We have a sacred marriage too.
And we are going to say thank you, Father, for our precious life. And
Yes,
thank you,
we
Mother,
do.
for all of our wonderful blessings you give us. I want to say a special blessing here on the second anniversary of the Worldwide Religion of Love, and for the 5th anniversary of Lord Maitreya's 50
we
year
love Maitreya
magisterial
too.
mission.
Of course we do.
Lord Maitreya, God bless you wherever you are, and Rose Estelle, his consort.
Yes.
I would like to say, bright white light around this world, this earth, this Urantia, and bright golden light also. May everyone's hearts be open to the divine love that Aphrodite will bring us. I say, please open the minds of every person on this earth. May everyone's minds be open to the divine truth that Gabriel will bring to us. And I'd like to say, may everyone's souls, spirits, and everyone's higher aspects of themselves be attuned to the wonderful love, light, beauty, and goodness of the local universe Father, Zeus, and the local universe Mother, Hera. God bless everyone on the earth, and we say please protect and bless the children, the women and the men in the Ukraine. Shelter
Yes.
them from harm.
And Russia too. There are so many wonderful people in Russia, and they love their fellow partners. Actually, so many of them have intermarried, and they're relatives. They are very much the same stock of people.
Yeah. And we say, God bless this world. Shine your light upon us. Continue to do so. Onward to the age of Aquarius, to the age of Pisces, and light and life. God bless you all that's listening to this and that have heard this. May your hearts be filled with love and your minds be filled with divine truth and love, truth, beauty, and goodness to all of you.
And I just want to say I've been married to my husband for 27 years, but we were together 4 years before that, which makes 31. And before that, we were friends since he was 16 in the spirit world. And I couldn't have found a more loyal or dedicated person that you have chosen to work with you. There could be no more. And he has a pretty voice, too.
All right. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
And God bless you,
God
Oracle
bless you.
of Apollo, my lovely wife. All right, friends. That's it for today. And
Thank you all so
this is
much.
the anniversary of the
Second anniversary.
New Worldwide Religion of Love.
And we are going to take our son Alexander out for Yogurtland right now. We're going to celebrate the worldwide religion of love with Yogurtland. All right. Thank you for coming. God bless the world.
God bless the world.
You sing me your love song and comfort my soul with your love, my heart is full. You play me a melody so soft and so sweet. I fill in the harmony to make it complete. Here we are, two lovers in love, exploring the heavens above, sharing our lives and never to part, for love is the music of the heart. With the beautiful music we're swept away to worlds unknown where we can play. Promise to love me all the while, as hand in hand we walk the miles. Here we are, two lovers in love, exploring the heavens above, sharing our lives and never to part, for love is the music of the heart. love truly does make the world go round. From the primordial divine mind and pulsating heart of God flows an eternal symphony of love, composed of exquisite celestial melodies and beautifully measured cyclic rhythms. With the beautiful music, all of God's sons and daughters throughout the immense and glorious universes are swept away with the sweet musical expression of God's all-surpassing and all-encompassing love. Our hearts thrill with joy and delight at God's pleasing artistry as we experience the divine pulse within our souls. And from an intrinsic desire welling up from within our inmost being, we are compelled to join in the song and dance of the ages. Our hearts cannot help but burst forth with an offering of sacred melodies of love, praise, and adoration, combined with our own carefully crafted harmonies, as accompaniment to the divine melody pouring forth from our eternal and infinite Father in paradise. As we traverse the inward spiral toward perfect and harmonious communion with God, as we explore unknown worlds and imagine the heavens above, and as we work to recreate the heavenly tune in our own lives, we are comforted in the knowledge that we share our musical journey with our loving God and with all of our fellow musicians, mortal, celestial, and divine. Let us all together walk the miles, hand in hand, to the tempo of God's great symphony of love, attuning our hearts, our minds, our souls, and our spirits to the one great eternal melody of God. Love is the music of the heart. Your lullabies delight me and fill me with joy. Your pleasing artistry is mine to employ. So sing me your love song and comfort my soul. With your love, my heart is whole. I feel the pulse within my soul that beats in perfect time. As a symphony delights our ears, I am yours and you are mine. You are mine. Here we are, two lovers in love, exploring the heavens above, sharing our lives and never to part, for love is the music. I feel the pulse within my soul that beats in perfect time. As a symphony delights our ears, I am yours and you are mine. You are mine. Here we are, two lovers in love, exploring the heavens above, sharing our lives and never to part, for love is the music. Yes, love is the music. Love is the music. Ah. You sing me your love song and comfort my soul. Life is precious. Life is precious. Hey, have you heard about the culture of life? Lift up your mind, embrace the culture of life. Life is precious. Life is precious. Life. Culture of life. Life. We are all universe brothers and sisters, united in love, from the lowest creature to the highest God above. Hate not, harm not, kill not, nurture everybody, everything on earth. Happiness, peace will come to you, a new golden age, a new rebirth. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, have you heard about the culture of life? Lift up your mind, embrace the culture of life. Be the one to start a new revolution, positive direction, brand new start, personal and global transformation, the love of life in every heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. Life continues. Life continues. Hey, have you heard about the culture of life? Lift up your mind, embrace the culture of life. Life continues. Life continues. Life after life. Culture of life. Life universe, brothers and sisters united in love, from the lowest creature to the highest God above. We live and move and have our being within the many levels of deity. Together we grow, we help each other, a beautiful life eternally. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, have you heard about the culture of life? Lift up your mind, embrace the culture of life. Here we go on our spiritual journey, ascending through the spheres of time and space. Material, Morontia, spirit realms, paradise, the perfect place. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, have you heard about the culture of life? Lift up your mind, embrace the culture of life. Life, life, life continues. Life, life, life continues. Life, life, life after life. Culture of life. Life, life, life after life. Life, life, life is precious, and life, life, life continues. Life, life, life is precious, and life, life, life continues.